Welcome to Velocity Personal Training Academy's episode 4. So today you've got myself here, Ben, and I'm also with Matt.
How are we doing, guys? You okay?
And today, Matt, what we're going to talk about, we're going to discuss a little bit around taxes whilst being a personal trainer. So how to get financial control over yourself. And also then you're going to go over marketing, aren't you, Matt?
Yeah, so we're going to look at it from a point of view of myself as a personal trainer. Tips and things that I've used that have helped me, and things that I've done that maybe you could learn from and do correctly, and then just kind of discuss it from a point of view like how I run my business across social media platforms and things like that.
No, that's good. So hopefully it bodes for a nice episode for you guys to listen into. So this one's a lot more inclined into helping yourself in when you start your business as a personal trainer, or if you're currently running your business as a personal trainer. So I'm going to talk through the tax things side of things and talk about the financial side of things. Matt's going to talk about the marketing side of things, talking about examples of what he's done in his personal training journey and how it's affected him and how it's enabled him to get his client base that he's currently got at the minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
So straight away we're going to have a look at taxes. So tax is always kind of a grey area when it comes to personal training. Probably the part that nobody wants to hear about. It might not get the most clickbait, but trust me, if you get this correct, you're going to be successful and you're going to bode for a longer journey within business. Because tax itself kind of links into financial freedom, financial constraints and control over yourself. It enables you to forecast for how much that you're going to earn within that year, and it also just enables you to just have more control. I mean, money talks when it comes to business.
Financial freedom, like you say.
Yeah, if you haven't got your finances sorted out, then you're not going to be doing what you're doing for a very long time, for a long time.
Yeah.
That's initially what we're going to start out with.
So, in terms of like looking at it from tax point of view, as a kind of general rule, in terms of like for someone who's maybe starting out new, how would you kind of say like what's the first steps? What do you need to do first to kind of get the ball rolling?
Yeah. So first, what you need to do, finances and money and things like tax, it always tends to be a conversation that people don't want to have.
Yeah.
So whether it being with another person, whether it being with a family member, your spouse, or anybody close to yourself, because I see it as a very sensitive issue. It's kind of like, it's my money. Nobody should know how much I'm earning and what I'm doing. Whereas if we kind of learn to be a little bit more open, especially with our inner circle in regards to how much we're earning, what's happening, where we can be if we set ourselves financial goals, it just helps to kind of get the conversation rolling and the ideas rolling within yourselves. So when you're a personal trainer or just any small business startup, the purpose of getting your taxes in check is to basically stay legal and stay in corporation. And also when it comes to a financial year end, if you are set up as an actual company, you will need to submit a tax return.
Yeah.
So if you don't submit, well, let's say, for example, if you always say that you don't earn anything and that you don't earn any tax, well, guess what? You're going to find it very, very hard to get a house on a mortgage, to be able to get a car that you actually want, and to just be able to finance things and in my eyes, grow up into an actual adult. It's a very one thing that basically don't teach you at school that you should be able to know about when you come further on into life. Yeah. Exactly, and when you come into normal life. Because if you submit a book that basically says that you've earned zero amount of money over X amount of years, and let's say I'm a bank and you've come to me and said, right, okay, I want to borrow £200,000 to be able to mortgage this house. And then I look through your accounts and your books and it shows that you earn absolutely zero.
It's never going to happen, is it?
Jog on, mate. Yeah. I'm not lending you money. You're at the most financial risk that anybody could be at. So that's one of the important things as to why you need to pay tax. And also, from your own point of view, what I'm going to talk about and discuss about is how you're going to do your books and why you need to do them. So straight away, you need to be in control of yourself doing your books on a regular basis, because you don't want to have anxiety when it comes to that end of the year. And and all of a sudden you've got 12 months worth of books that you need to do.
Yeah.
So why it's important that you need to do your books is because the government can basically bring out any general tax inspections on any company at any point. So that's completely down to them. So this is where they would have a look at your books over the year, your accounts, and then weigh up what your incomes and outgoings were to how much tax that you've actually paid within that year.
See if it matches, basically.
See if it matches, yeah. And then if it doesn't match, guess what? You've got more tax to pay plus a penalty fee.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important. And one thing that people have to be conscious about as well, because I obviously know it's an industry where you can be a small business and you can really go under radar because you're not going to earn massive amounts of money. You need to be aware now that the government are getting savvy with things. So they've actually got government tax inspectors that actually do look at social media of companies and do have a look at the managing directors of these companies, and to actually see what type of lifestyle that they live in.
Yeah.
So let's say if you've got a personal trainer and they're flaunting all over social media about the BMW, about the Mercedes, or the nice fancy car that they've got.
Yeah.
But yet on their tax account books, it shows that they've made £5,000 that year.
Yeah.
So then they don't have to pay any tax. All of a sudden, they're going to start scratching their head, and that's
Yeah.
when you start opening yourself to a tax investigation.
Absolutely, yeah.
Through the government. So if you're a personal trainer and you are starting to look at setting yourself up financially, straight away you need to be able to track all of your income and all of your outgoings, and then have evidence of this. So what I mean by that is all of your outgoings needs to have an appropriate receipt that you've purchased for, and all of your income, you need to raise a sufficient invoice for that as well.
Yeah.
And to be able to document these things, and the best way to do that, and the most easy way, especially when you're first starting out as a trainer, is to use an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
So there's no need to fork out massive amounts of money for software such as Sage or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just look to use an Excel spreadsheet, and then this will enable you to download, whether it be your bank statement, online bank statement, and then categorize each income and outgoing. So it could be categorized such as marketing expense, operational expense, membership, travel expenses, and you can categorize each individual part.
Yeah.
And then that is essentially what the government would want to see when they come and do a tax inspection on you. So you need to be able to say, right, okay, so I see that you've spent £5,000 through Thomas Cook. Can you please explain that to me, please? Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're thinking, shit, that was for me and my girlfriend to go on holiday. How can I put this down as a business expense? Well, guess what? That's something that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
So therefore, you can't offset that against your tax.
Yeah.
You're going to pay tax double on that.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's an example of it. So yeah, the best way when you're first starting out, that's cost effective, get yourself an Excel spreadsheet and book time in once a week, to then be able to sit down at the end of the week and say, right, okay, this is everything I've spent this week, this is everything that I've earned this week, let me put all that into that spreadsheet, categorize it, and therefore then I have control over what's coming in, what's going out, and I can evidence it just in case I ever do come to get inspected.
I suppose it's good as well anyway, obviously for tax purposes is the main reason, but it's good for them, an individual as a business. Yeah. To kind of go, right, I know exactly what I'm paying out, I know exactly what's coming in, and I know my profit margins as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's got that benefit as well.
And that's something that when you're coming into the fitness industry and you're coming into self-employment, if you've got somebody that comes from no self-employment history, that's straight away coming in and they're starting to run their own business, they're not going to understand those fundamentals first. They're used to somebody paying them.
Yeah.
On a monthly basis.
It's not even thought about.
Exactly. Your tax, your national insurance, it all gets sorted out prior to you going into self-employment. So yeah, it's really something that needs to be known before you get into becoming self-employed, that you need to be able to control your own finances. Yeah. You need to be able to actually sit down, understand everything that's coming in, everything that's going out. So run it as if you'd run a household. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. Ins and outs. Yeah.
An effective, efficiently run household. Yeah. That's what a small business should be run as.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That kind of leads me on to my next question. Really, as you touched on it before with the holiday, like a $5,000 holiday. Yeah. So it's kind of like a question that gets asked a lot is like, what can I put through my books? Can
Yeah.
I put rent through? Can I get a car through? Put that through my business? Obviously, you've used an example as a holiday, which is obviously a big no-no. But kind of, is there a rule in terms of like what you can and can't put through?
Yeah, so the best thing to do if you're totally unsure about anything that you can put through, don't take everything I'm going to say as gospel. I'm just going to give you a few subjects that you can and can't put through. But obviously there's going to be certain things that crop up and you will scratch your head over.
Yeah.
And rather than take one of the PTs that work in your gym's guidance as gospel,
Yeah.
actually go see an accountant about it. Because how do you know what they're doing is
Right,
correct
yeah.
if it's just a normal bog standard of a PT in the gym? Get yourself an account. Well, don't get yourself, only if it's good for you, but get guidance from an accountant and
advice,
just sit
basically.
down and just talk to them. Yeah. So some examples of things that you can put through and some examples of things that you can't put through. So what I'm gonna look at first is mileage and a mileage expense. So if as we know, some personal trainers work door to door. There might be mobile personal trainers.
Yeah.
So if you're a mobile personal trainer, you can put that mileage down as an actual expense on your company because it's business miles effectively.
Yeah.
Where the line kind of gets drawn within that is when you're starting to drive to Scarborough and back on a weekend to take the kids out.
Yeah.
That's not effectively then going to be classed down as a business expense because that's self-entertainment.
private mileage.
That's private
Yeah.
mileage, exactly. So the best way to do this is to document your mileage. So again, good old trusty Excel spreadsheet. You can never go wrong with it. Get an Excel spreadsheet out. Document a postcode to another specific postcode. So the mileage that you did, how many miles it was,
Yeah.
the date that you actually did it on, and then what you can then do and claim back on your company and on your personal training business is 45 pence per mile.
Yeah.
And that's for the first 10,000 miles
Right. Okay.
that you travel within that
Yeah.
annual year. Once you've gone over 10,000 miles, if you are doing a good bit of mobile personal training, it then goes down to 25 pence per mile that you are able to then claim back.
Right. Okay.
So that's one thing that you can claim, being a personal trainer. There are certain other things that you can claim as well. One being that any form of promotional marketing material and events that you do. So an example of this would be if you get flyers done as marketing material. If you get a shaker bottle with your logo on them,
Right.
again, that's another thing that you can actually put down as an expense. If you're getting any kit, so if you're getting any kit with your logo on it, therefore that can be put down as an expense as well. The answer is, it's kind of like people actually deep down truly know things that they can put
they
through
just
the
try and
books.
push it.
But it's the more question that they're going to ask you is, what can I get away with putting through my books?
Yeah.
And the best thing to do when it comes down to taxes and the government is there's only going to be one winner if you get taken to court, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So do things the right way and don't try and always bend things around to make it happen your way.
Yeah.
So things that you necessarily can't put through your books then. You're looking at fancy shoes, unbranded equipment. So if I go down to JD Sports now and I purchase £300 worth of clothing that I know I'm not going to wear for work, that shouldn't be then put through your books.
Yeah.
Cars, there's another thing. You can't put a car through your book because again, if and you see it many times, unfortunately you do see it where personal trainers, it does become a little bit of an egotistical job, especially if you're working on a gym floor.
Absolutely.
And the other personal trainers are on there. Somebody wants to be the big man.
It's materialistic things, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's, look at me, I'm doing well, I'm successful.
I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I've got a BMW M3 parked outside. I still live at home with my parents, but it doesn't matter because I've got a car on finance outside that's costing me £600 a month.
And a Gucci man bag.
And a Gucci man bag, exactly, that's thrown over your shoulder.
Yeah.
So what you need to understand is that lifestyle's not going to live on forever.
No.
And if you do look at these government social inspectors that are happening on social media, if you're flaunting away showing things that you've got, but yet your books are saying that you're only earning £5,000 a year, and you've got a £60,000 car parked outside the gym.
Yeah. Doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up again. You're opening yourself up there. So my advice on that is don't put it through your books.
Yeah.
And then effectively take a step back and understand that your business money is completely separate to what your personal money is.
Yeah.
When you work for yourself, your personal money, how the government look at it is your business money should be paid for overheads, staff payments if you've got any staff, tax and PAYE, and to run the business.
Yeah.
The last thing that the government has down on their list of priorities is the wage that you take out.
Yeah.
That's the last thing that they look at.
Yeah.
And that should be the last thing on your priority list. The money within the business should be for the business.
Yeah.
And the last thing that you take out on that month should be your wage.
Yeah.
So this is sometimes where personal trainers, sports massage therapists as well, can sometimes not understand, and that's to spend the money on depreciating assets. So a depreciating asset, as an example, would be your car.
Yeah.
Technology, so a laptop,
Yeah.
something that's never going to go up in value,
Yeah.
and that is at no good cost to your company,
Yeah.
really. So I mean, I know you might be a mobile personal trainer or sports massage therapist, but is that BMW M3 out there going to get you there exactly the same as what like a Citroen C1 would?
Yeah.
It's still going to get you there.
Yeah.
It's just a depreciating asset that you've taken out. So always try and stay in your lane when you come to running your business. Don't make something like a finance car become a burden on your business. That needs to be the last thing that's on your mind prior to you then working out your books and taking out a wage.
Yeah.
So again, something that unfortunately can't be put through the books. You're looking at client entertainment. So client entertainment being, again, personal training. If you've got a client, taking a client to Starbucks and paying for them for a coffee.
Yeah.
It has been thought, and you've probably heard of people in the gym say that you can put that through the books. At the end of the day, it is only a coffee. It is something really small. But effectively, by the book, that shouldn't be put through the books.
Yeah.
That's effectively client entertainment.
Yeah.
So instead of always going to Starbucks and getting them a £3-4 coffee, have an instant coffee Kenko that you can just boil kettle and make them. Do you know what I mean? And then one thing that can be then put through the books, which is if people do get to this point, is employee entertainment.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we maybe have any gym owners that are listening
Yeah.
into this. So when you start to get to a different financial bracket where you have people working for yourself,
Yeah.
you can put employee entertainment through the book. So it could be things such as like away days, kit for employees and all that type of stuff. So that is essentially things that can and can't be put through. Have you got any more questions on any other things?
No, you use a good example with like obviously a holiday. That's kind of like a no-brainer.
Yes.
But obviously, like you say, people will try and get away with whatever they can.
Oh yeah, people. Unfortunately, that's kind of world that we live in. That's why I say don't take everything that I'm going to say as gospel. Actually sit down with an accountant and run through everything that they will say that can be done and can't be done.
Yeah.
Obviously, a holiday can't be done.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're going to you've got a client that lives in Saudi Arabia and you're going to fly over there and train them
once a week.
Once a week, exactly. Then it's not necessarily going to be something viable that you can evidence towards the government inspectors when they look through your books. Imagine if they turned around and said, right, okay, can I speak to this client then and just make sure that this is actually proof that you did go out there and train them?
Yeah.
And these are all words that you need to be able to have answers for and be able to document against.
Yeah.
So yeah, that holidays, cars, equipment that isn't necessarily to do with your job and role.
Yeah.
It's a total different conversation there because you need to be able to actually detach yourself from, right, I'm a personal trainer, I need to be seen to have all of these material things to actually, well, no, this is a job that I enjoy and I want to be able to do this job for a very long time and support my family doing it.
Yeah.
They're two completely different mindsets that you need to be able to separate.
Yeah, business from personal life.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you talked about obviously Excel spreadsheets, like almost masterful in terms of being able to track.
Yeah.
Any other like programs or anything like that you feel as that you've used or that would be beneficial?
Yeah. So I mean, first and foremost, I'm always going to say an Excel spreadsheet to somebody.
Yeah, 'cause it's free.
Because it's free.
Yeah.
It's relatively easy to work. I mean, you don't need to be scared of formulas. There's many YouTube videos out there that'll tell you how to do basic formulas now.
Yeah.
So Excel spreadsheets, first and foremost, when you're first starting out, cost effective, easy to manage. What I would also say as well is if you're not very good at essentially keeping all of your keeping all your receipts and keeping all of your invoices on hand.
Yeah.
QuickBooks is a really good piece of software as well. So I don't know if you've ever seen the advertisements with QuickBooks. It can be something you sign up to on a monthly basis. It's an app you download on your phone.
Yeah.
You just purchase something, you get a receipt for it, you take a picture of the receipt, and QuickBooks logs that onto your accounts.
Yeah.
It's that easy. So that can be a very good, useful tool as well, if you're not very good at organising things and filing them away.
Right.
Also, other pieces of software that I'll discuss is kind of ways in how you can track your income. So Go Cardless. Don't know if you've heard of Go Cardless.
Go Cardless,
Very good direct debit form. Takes away pittance. Like, it costs nothing, basically. Well, it does cost something, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a minimal amount that they charge in order to set up direct debits. So this could be for sports massage customers, personal training customers that are maybe signed up to a long-term plan. Instead of them paying you all of this cash straight up front, you can set them up on a monthly direct debit scheme using something such as Go Cardless.
Absolutely, yeah.
PayPal have another thing that's very similar to that, to Go Cardless as well. And as well, I mean, just good old trusty bank statements. So whatever bank that you're registered to, you can download the spreadsheet which has all the incomings and outgoings available. But if you wanted my advice on it, an Excel spreadsheet to track things, very cost effective. If you crap at organising, if you don't know that you're not going to keep receipts and store them correctly, QuickBooks, use that. And also, if you want a more financially viable option for your clients to be able to pay over long term and have an idea, Go Cardless. That's what I would say. So if you are starting to get into the more higher brackets in terms of earning more income, maybe having staff that start to work for your personal trainers that are working under you, or if you are a gym owner, then I would then start to look at different types of software such as Sage.
SagePay,
SagePay, where it sets up all of that and calculates it all for you. You can as well look at maybe even paying a retainer to an accountant and let them do it all on a monthly basis. But just be aware that you still need to be able to send all of them the information that they require.
That was my next question, really. Like, you talked about, like, when you're starting up, getting that advice or having a conversation, sit down with an accountant, knowing what you can do, what you can't do, how you should do things. Do you think there's a point where you reach where you go, right, okay, now I should get an accountant? Do you think you reach that point?
Yeah, so the point when you reach that, I mean, I've got 3 different ways in how you can reach that point. You start earning a lot of money. Too much money that you can actually wrap your head around and sit down and do it, because the work's there for you to be able to do that you actually haven't got time to sit down and do your books.
Got the hours in the day.
That's one point. Another point that you need an accountant is if you are just plain basic useless at organising, sitting down and being able to manage your time efficiently, to sit down, go through your books, log everything. So if you can't do that, I would say to get that as well. And then also, if you start to get to a point where you are employing staff, so if you're employing people to come into the organisation, there's a lot more bells and whistles other than just paying your tax that comes with it. There's sorting out the employees' tax, national insurance, PAYE, that you need to sort out. So that's when would then look to the government as well. I don't know if you've ever seen any marketing advertisement on their behalf, but have you heard all of this? They're trying to make tax digital, all that type of stuff. So the government now are really trying to make a push to try and get people onto things such as like Sage and all these other different types of accountancy software.
It's all digital, online, or
exactly. That's what they're looking to do now, definitely.
So you talked about, obviously, like doing your books, good housekeeping kind of thing. Would you say there's like a certain amount of, there's a regular amount of time that you should be doing them, like, monthly, quarterly? When would you suggest the best?
My mantra for it is, if you are wanting to do it and it doesn't become a burden, is little and often.
Right. Okay.
You really need to do it little and often. If you go on If you, let's say if you've got 6 months worth, I've done it before in the past where I haven't done it for a full year. That's why I'm kind of on here trying to preach to people, is if you don't do it for a full year and then it comes to doing your tax return, you're locking yourself away from your actual day-to-day business for a good week.
Yeah.
And it's not a good task to be doing.
No, I can't imagine it being very, very interesting.
It's not an enthusiastic task that you want to be doing. So little and often when you come to do it, and this again, it comes into things where when we come to teach personal trainers and sports massage therapists, it's all about managing your time efficiently and effectively. So have you actually got a timetable of different stuff that you're going to be doing on a weekly basis? Are you scheduling in time for your marketing, for your training, for your massages, for your finances? So this is where you actually need to, well, my advice would be to at least do around about a good hour every week, if that. It could be 45 minutes, 30 minutes if it's needed. And what that will do over the long-term period is make it a lot easier when it comes to submitting your tax return.
Yeah.
Because it's all there. It's done.
All the information's done and ready. Yeah.
Exactly. You're not having to lock yourself in a room for a full week, going through receipts, downloading Excel spreadsheets, from your bank statements, and one by one categorizing what each payment incoming and outgoing is. Trust me, it's the worst thing in the world that you want to be doing. Especially if you're a personal trainer and you've got clients that you're having to cancel for that week. Because otherwise you're going to end up with a fixed penalty from the government for your tax return. So this is just something that you need to be calculated and thinking about. And actually think, right, oh shit, this is actually something I should be doing. That they never actually taught me about at school. And in doing that, if you're doing that on a weekly basis as well, you're gaining a better stronghold on your actual finances as well. So you're understanding what your income's going to be for the next couple of months, or what it has been for the last couple of months, how much you should be putting away, and what your tax bill is an estimate of going to be within the next 12 months.
For it, basically.
Exactly, you're going to be prepared for it. So what I'm going to kind of do as a little task, and for the listeners that are listening as well, is for any of the guys that are listening into this and then all of a sudden they're thinking, shit, that sounds like me, I haven't done anything. I've got something here that can kind of help you out in terms of calculating what your annual earnings would be, and also an estimate of what your annual tax bill could potentially be. So how much you should be putting away compared to how much that you should projected be earning for the next year. So that's effectively done by calculating your earnings over how many months that you've earned it over. So let's say, for example, we're in May, so we're at the end of May. So let's say if we just do it for example's sake to make it easy, from January to May. So from January to May, we earn £10,000. Right, let's just say, as a straight example, you've earned £10,000 from January to May. And then you're then going to divide it by how many months that you've worked. So January to May is 5 months. So then you're going to divide that £10,000 by 5, which gives you £2,000. Yeah, don't worry, I'm not testing you. I don't know why I paused there.
Quick maths.
So then that'll give you £2,000. So from that £2,000, you're then going to multiply that by 12. And then that is effectively going to give you an estimate of what your annual earnings. Remember, these are business earnings. This is not your actual cash in your wallet earning to book yourself.
This is what your business has made over the past 12 months.
This is your business earnings. That'll give you an annual earning of £24,000 business earning. Because that's being put through a business, then what happens? Much like anybody else that works in an employed role, you have to pay tax. So as a safe haven, my best piece of advice, £24,000, take 20% of that and stick it somewhere where you can't actually touch it. Because that is going to be your tax that you're going to have to pay. So on that £24,000, you're looking at £4,800 annual tax bill that you're looking to pay on that. So that is an example of what you guys can do. So again, that can be done in any other example, depending on however many months that you want to do that over. Work out the total lot of income that you've accrued over that month, divide it by however many months that you're within the year, up to in the year. So it's like we're in May, so we're going to do it over 5. Times it by 12, that's your annual earning. Work out 20% of that, and then that's how much you need to be saving away.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get to. So in this example, I don't want to get to the end of the year and then have to try and find £4,800 from somewhere.
It's not a little
to try and
little
give
bit of money, is it? It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my example there in terms of tax. And just another kind of massive piece of advice that I actually haven't covered, that I just want to kind of get out there for people, is separate your bank accounts. So what I mean by that is have a business bank account and have a personal bank account.
Again, different things. Like your business.
Yeah, because try doing a tax return on your personal bank account when you've got the missus buying things, when you've got loads of personal things coming in and out of that, direct debits, mortgage, fuel for your car, just things like that, council tax, and then you're having to separate all of that from your actual business income and outgoings.
It's twice the work, isn't it?
You're causing yourself a lot of hassle, and even if you give that to an accountant, they're not going to thank you for it.
Yeah, good advice. Good advice.
So separate, have a personal account and have a business account. Your business account doesn't. I'm not putting any pressure on people by saying get a business account, but that effectively should change your mindset straight away, because you've got a business account that money should be coming in and out of that you're working towards.
Makes it seem a bit more real as well, I think, doesn't it? Especially for newly qualified people.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, this is me now. This is my company. It's got its own account. We've got my own card with a signature on it, and be able to actually separate that money.
Yeah.
And another piece of advice as well when it comes to actually finances is, again, this is something that you might not be in the mindset of at the minute, but maybe something that you want to think about is, if you're a personal trainer, sports massage therapist, have a think about actually paying yourself a salary rather than paying yourself everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is, if you want to set yourself a salary of £1,500 a month, then just make sure that across the board for 12 months, you're going to take out £1,500 a month.
Yeah.
So as we know within this industry, when you get your peaks and your troughs, so like January boom and then like a little bit of a fall, that when it is going good, you're still only taking out £1,500.
Yeah.
So you've got a good bit of cash in the bank then for when things aren't necessarily going good, and when things are going bad, you've got a reserve in there from when times were going good, but you're still only taking out your £1,500 a month. So that's one of my big pieces of advice, because it enables you to be able to actually get a good amount of cash reserve sitting in that bank account, and not having to just rely on taking everything out because you've earned. I've done 50 hours this week of PT sessions, so I'm gonna I'm off out tonight. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna get bottles going in box and all that type of stuff. So, so you need to actually be financially savvy, and be held accountable to your own finances.
Yeah, absolutely. Good advice, mate.
Yeah. So that's my advice on that one. So hopefully, guys are still awake. And they've listened to everything that I've said, but that's just one thing that they don't teach you at school. That's one thing that if you're not having those conversations with close family members and friends, that you may actually take a couple pieces of advice out of that and look to move forward with it.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the finance side of things, Matt.
Yep.
And we've talked about what we should be doing with all this money when we get it.
Yeah.
But you're going to talk to us a little bit about how we get that money, aren't you?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from like a point of view as a personal trainer, still a working personal trainer today, and I'm quite confident to say that it's a successful business.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of one of them things now where obviously social media is bigger than it's ever been.
Yeah.
There's lots of different people doing it in different mediums, and it's kind of, where do you fit in that that aspect really? So first thing really is like the best marketing tools and the best marketing platforms really for a PT or even an SMT really. So the two biggest things that I use are social media.
Yeah.
The two platforms on there are Facebook and Instagram.
Right, yeah.
They're the two biggest forms of marketing that I use, social media that I use, because I feel, from my experience, are the most effective. You've obviously got things such as like physical marketing, but in terms of digital, Facebook is probably the biggest one. Facebook's really good. So from a point of view, as a business, maybe again a newly qualified SMT, PT, the things that you can do on there are really, really good. So you can create your own branded page with your own content on there. You can put videos on there. You can put pictures on there. You can, people can leave testimonials on their reviews. So rate your business for people, potential clients to see.
Mm-hmm.
Along with that is you can also do like live videos. They're quite popular now. So engage with your clientele. You can do Q&As, things like that. You can also run competitions on there, and along with that, you can actually now book appointments through Facebook.
Crazy.
So if you think of that as a whole, it kind of covers pretty much everything you might need. And you can also you can do paid adverts on there. So if you wanted to kind of build your business a bit more, you can do something called a paid advert on Facebook. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it. I know that through Velocity, it's something that we've used as a tool in the past, and it works really well.
Yeah.
And you just boost a specific post. So if it's a discount, or if it's a particular product that you're trying to sell, you can put a little bit of money behind it, which kind of spreads it further afield, and it pops up on people's feeds a little bit more.
Yeah, you've said we've used that before in the past, and it is a good marketing tool. Obviously, you need a little bit of cash up front to be able to do it, and have already a designated marketing budget and work within that budget.
Yeah.
So what can happen is you can do it on any different type of content that you want, and then you can almost handpick an audience that you want to
target that audience.
Exactly, that you want that advert to be in front of.
Yeah.
So let's say if you're a personal trainer and you're wanting to run a new 6-week shred program.
Yeah.
So then you have a video edited and everything, really nice, smart video, but you only have 50 likes on your Facebook page.
Yeah.
You can use this paid advertisement to then try and get that video out to a much wider audience within your catchment area. So you can put a demographic on there.
Yeah.
You can put a location on there, so where the people actually live, what the age range that they need to be in, and you can also add in there what interests that they have.
So what they've previously liked in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And like you say, you can do say if we're Leeds, you could do say 5 kilometres, 10 kilometres away.
It can be used as a very good tool to try and get something in front of your consumers.
Yeah.
Definitely. So Matt, what ways? Because I've kind of, what successes have you had with using Facebook? So I know you've used Facebook a lot in terms of putting discounts and things out there, but is there any other things that you post within Facebook?
I mean, it's really easy to kind of see a bit of text and scroll past it.
Yeah.
Whereas if there's a video there, or a photo even, you engage with it a lot more.
Yeah, yeah.
What you would read in maybe a 30-second paragraph, you could watch in a clip in 5 seconds, or seeing a photo in a second.
Yeah, yeah.
So photos and videos always get better responses, I think, from people.
Yeah.
In terms of engagement and actually people having interest in it.
Yeah.
So videos and photos are really, really good. For me though, as a PT, photos in terms of the transformation side of things.
Yeah.
So a massive thing of being a PT is knowing that you can actually do what you say you can do.
Yeah.
And having that proven record, a portfolio almost of success with clients. So having physical proof of that with photos is really, really good. That's for me what gets the most engagement across my social media.
Yeah, yeah. I think what you're coming at from there as well is that you're using your social platforms rather than something being sell.
Yeah.
You're using it as a trust building kind of platform. So therefore the consumer has already kind of seen the work that you've done with your guys.
Yeah.
And then it's actually, wow, look at that transformation. Oh, here's another one. Oh, right. And then they're about 15 transformation pictures deep.
Yeah.
And then they think, actually, this guy actually knows what he's doing.
Exactly. I honestly can't remember the last time across any of my social media I tried to sell something.
Yeah.
I didn't, I can't remember the last time I've gone, right, okay, so you can buy this many sessions for this and you get this for free, or something like that. Because, like you say, it's massive now in terms of you just being able to prove that what you can do works.
Yeah.
If you pull up my Facebook, Brandon, that's my personal one. Mallet Fitness, mate.
We'll blur this out for anybody that's
that's it, mate. It's that one. It's all right, Treacle.
Still learning.
Yeah. So this is my Facebook page, and it's really, you can message me if you want. You know what I mean? drop me a little cheeky
But
message.
that just there, that
Yeah.
again is another good thing that Facebook has instilled into
Yeah.
it. That it's already is trying to get the consumer to contact and try and ask the page and the business about something.
Yeah.
So that's another good thing
Yeah.
that Facebook's put into their platform.
Yeah, so it's really, really easy. So straight away you can see there's a couple of pictures at the top there, and then again videos. So there's a couple of videos that you can click straight into, and then the first one, I've recently just started running a little bit of a competition. I love giving away free sessions to people. Maybe people, they can't afford it, or they want, maybe they're a little bit scared to kind of dip their toe in the water. So giving a free session away, I love doing that. I do that probably once a month, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And it just really helps with kind of people showing engagement.
Again, I'm just looking at that there. So that might be something that people may be hesitant to actually do.
Yeah.
Give away a free session.
Yeah.
But just looking at that there, you've kind of put a competition out there in order for people to win a free session. 19 shares on it already, and you only posted it not too long ago.
I think it was yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you think of the reach there, you've got 19 different people sharing that. Those 19 different people may have, let's say on average, 500 friends each.
Yeah.
So that is quite a big reach that you get in there compared to what you normally just put out as a normal regular post on your own page.
Yeah.
So little kind of marketing tricks and techniques like that will definitely be helpful for people.
It's one of them really where people are maybe sometimes a little bit scared to give free stuff away, but like you say, if it's going to show engagement and help, then I'm just logging onto my my Facebook here just to see what the reach was actually on that post. Just let me scroll through and find it.
Yeah, so try not to be because it obviously works for you.
Yeah.
Giving away a free session once a month to people and being able to kind of designate that time.
Yeah.
Because you never know what reach that kind of gives you in terms of other people being able to see it.
Yeah.
But then also that person that does win that free personal training session, like you've already kind of covered, they might be the type of person that are either in limbo. Should I be going to see a personal trainer?
Yeah.
I'm actually quite scared to see a personal trainer, so I don't want to invest this amount in a personal trainer already. And then they see something like that, and it just might tip them over edge to then actually, right, I'll enter this. Oh crap, I've won it.
Yeah.
Oh, right, I've won it. And then you do a shit hot session with them.
Yeah.
And then you've now got a new client out
Well,
of it.
I've started running competitions probably once a month for past, probably just before Christmas.
Yeah.
And from those, say, 6-7 people, 3 of them have converted to clients.
Yeah.
So just off the back of that, if one person does it, it's worth your time doing it.
Exactly.
But that post there, that got the reach on it was 1,800 people.
Brilliant.
On the competition one.
And you
so
posted that yesterday?
Day before.
Oh, day before
yesterday.
yesterday.
It's third day really, yeah. But
Good.
But yeah, and then like Brandon's got up here scrolling through, like I just said. So progress photos, transformation photos, they speak for themselves. You don't have to really put much text with them.
Yeah.
People can physically see there's a change there, and I put on there like how much they've done and how much they've lost in the time
That's
period. And it's just really good engagement really for people.
A picture tells 1,000 stories,
Yeah.
doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
you can write a chunk of text for as long as you like, but
Yeah.
I mean, try it out, guys. I mean, if you're listening to this, write a big, long, articulate post and just have a look at the reach that it gets. Even though it doesn't matter if you spent an hour on that article or not.
Might be the best article in the world.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
The engagement within reading something is actually not. It's not kind of put into people. People are on social media because they're wanting something quick and entertaining. So something such as like a video or a transformation picture, straight away you look at that picture like, whoa, I can see the weight loss that they've had there.
Yeah.
Right, okay, how long has that been done for?
Yeah.
Who's a personal trainer that's kind of taken them through that?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the picture tells 1,000 words.
It does. If you just scroll to the top for me, Brandon, and just see if you can see where it says, I think your little chat thing is going to cover it, where it says reviews.
So whilst you're just getting that up, if we think of reviews,
It's not on there.
sometimes again people can be quite hesitant in order to actually have a section on the page where people want them to write reviews, but you've got to think that be away from the mindset of social media pages just purely for sales.
Yeah.
A social media page now is for trust and building a relationship with
Branding.
that person and
Yeah.
seeing if they're actually worth it or not.
Yeah.
Like I'll give an example. We're looking at somebody to do completely out of the blue from what we're talking about here, but we're looking for somebody to do our front and back drives at our house.
Yeah.
So wanting somebody to block pave it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I might go on the website, I might have a look at what they're doing, but I'm wanting to see reviews. I'm wanting to see past work of what this person has actually done.
Proof in the pudding.
Exactly, yeah. And I will look at their Facebook pages and kind of see past work and reviews, because I'm going to invest a lot of money into this that I want done.
You want it doing properly.
And consumers and clients are going to be the same way for a personal trainer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just touching on that though, Matt, because I mean, we've gone over the content that works very well. But one thing that a startup personal trainer might struggle with is actually having transformation pictures.
Yeah.
If they haven't actually had any clients.
So I discuss this a lot with like the newly qualified level 3 PTs that we put through.
Yeah.
And I do a little presentation which I've recently developed, which is in and around getting set up once you've. I think it's called Life After Velocity, because once you've qualified, what do they do next?
Yeah.
So that little bit of aftercare that we really push with at all of our learners. So what I always say is, as soon as you've qualified, you're not going to have any really experience. You're not going to have any proof that you've done what you say you can do. Like you say, no transformation photos. So I always say to them, two things is get your friends and family on board, see if any of them are willing to kind of, be your guinea pig, if you like, where you can kind of take them through it, see if what you works, getting that evidence from those people. And the other thing is offering like discounted sessions to people, saying, I'm newly qualified, I'm building my experience and wanting to build my portfolio. Would you be willing to partake in, I don't know, a 10-week transformation, or be my guinea pig for 12 weeks or whatever, discounted rate. That way you're still earning a source of income. You're building up your experience, not only working with clients, but also that portfolio of evidence that you can do what you say you can do.
Yeah, exactly. That totally makes sense. The need to be able to get I call it getting your reps in.
Yeah.
So you need to get your sessions in, get your hours in front of clients up. Yeah. So whether that means if you haven't currently got any clients at the minute, friends and family are a really good thing to practice on.
Absolutely.
One little thing that I always used to tell people when they're finished, when it got to around about Christmas time, when they finish the qualifications, is everybody that you send a Christmas card to, put a free personal training coupon in the Christmas card. Do you know what I mean? Just so then it's kind of like getting it out there and people are understanding that you're a personal trainer and you're willing to kind of give them a free session to try and build your client basis up. Get these types of transformation pictures that can really help you out.
Really push your business.
Build trust in your business. Exactly. So I think that's a really good idea that you've got there, Matt.
It does work really well, and it's one of those things where I've had people, ex-learners, come to me and say, oh, Matt, I've done this, and they'll update me like 4 months after, and they've got that evidence there, and they've got fully paying clients. So it's a really good way to kind of get your foot in the door, really.
Exactly. No, that's brilliant. So we've touched on our social side of things, where you've talked about Facebook, talked about Instagram. So I know we've kind of touched on Facebook a lot more. But what different ways does Instagram operate as a personal trainer, and how can you use it to your advantage?
So Instagram's a little bit different in terms of the content you can put on there. So an example of that would be Instagram is photos and videos. There's no real room for kind of like leaving reviews or anything like that. But you can obviously just take a picture and put it on there. Instagram's good for kind of reaching a wider audience, I feel, but that doesn't necessarily mean that audience is near you. So, for example, if I go onto my Instagram, you can look at where your followers are from. So I'd say that like most of them are Leeds based, Manchester, things like that. I've got a couple that are in Australia, a couple that are in America, a couple in China. So you got a couple that are dotted everywhere. So it's good for kind of if you wanting to grow your brand globally, but in terms of like you wanting to build clients near you, it's not always the case in terms of where you're going to gain those followers from. Again, you can do sponsored paid adverts through Instagram, so it can work in a very similar way to Facebook. But obviously it's a little bit more limited because it's only pictures, videos. So I always link people to my Facebook page whenever I can. Instagram's probably a bit more popular in terms of like you got something called Instagram Stories, which I'm sure everyone knows about, and that's kind of really good for just showing little snippet of something. It lasts for 24 hours on there. You don't have to follow that person to be able to see that. You could just maybe be linked to them in terms of like interests. It might pop up on their home feed or something like that. And that's a really good way to kind of a bit more brand exposure that way. So that's the tool I mainly use. Instagram for.
Yeah, so what would you kind of say that Instagram's a good thing because it's a current social media platform.
Yeah, very popular, yeah.
That also kind of like needs to be kind of seen. You need to be seen to have in order to be current. But would you state that it's maybe better for maybe online training a little bit?
Yeah.
Than say, for example,
you could say so,
face to face.
Because like obviously, if online coaching, you could have someone in America, you could have someone in China. It wouldn't really matter in terms of how close they are, because you don't physically need to see them.
Yeah.
So definitely for online coaches, Instagram is probably bigger than Facebook.
Yeah.
Just because you're going to hit more people all over the world, and they could potentially be your clients.
Yeah.
So it would work better, I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think I do feel that Instagram's a lot more brand exposure, whereas Facebook tends to be a little bit more business orientated in terms of like putting your adverts in front of people and sponsored ads and building trust and all that type of stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. I'd agree with that, definitely.
Oh, brilliant. So in terms of content for Instagram then, I just want to get one thing off my chest. I hate going down an Instagram page of personal trainers and it's just full of friggin' boomerangs. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just something that I've seen.
Your little pet peeve.
I've seen one too many boomerangs.
Yeah.
So I think what would help is like just vary your bloody content a little bit more.
Another thing what I hate as well is on personal trainers pages, and it's all the personal trainer.
Yeah, it's all about the personal trainer.
So it's about their progress and their training, which is helpful to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But realistically, it's about your clients. It should be the client success stories. So it's very, very rare if you scroll through any of my content, there's anything about me on there.
Yeah.
It's all about my clients' journeys, their training, their progress. I put a lot of nutrition stuff on there, which is relevant to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But generally, it's about my clients and their progress.
Yeah.
It shouldn't really be about the personal trainer or a shitload of boomerangs where everything's blurry and you don't know what the fuck it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, boomerangs do my head in. But yeah, you've touched on a good point there. People are coming to your page to actually see if this is a business page that you've put up, to see what work you do with people.
Yeah.
If I go on to again a totally different industry, but if I go onto a joiner's page and then it's just loads of pictures and videos of the joiner
dicking around on site.
Exactly, dicking around on site, sharpening his tools and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Then that isn't going to put a lot of trust in me with that joiner.
No.
I'm wanting to see what work is done.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to employ him to then come to my house and do a little bit of work because I trust what I've seen from the images and from the reviews that the other the consumers have put on his page.
Yeah, it's that portfolio of work again, isn't it? Shows that they're doing what they say they can do and how they do it.
Exactly. So again, I talk about mindset, but with personal trainers, SMTs, leave your ego at the door when it comes to your social platforms. Have them on your personal pages. Put everything you want about yourself on there.
Yeah.
Because that's a personal page. Whereas when it comes to a business page, make things about your business and the work that you actually do to build trust within your audience.
Yeah.
People are not wanting to see that you're on your 5th portion of chicken and broccoli today.
Yeah.
They don't care.
No.
They're going to actually want to see what work you do and help build trust in the actual product that you deliver.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've gone down the route of when I was newly qualified of making these little mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's kind of one of those things why we're talking about it. Like you said with your taxes, you've made those little things where you think, fuck, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you look at it from a point of view where you're like 4 or 5 years down the line, you think, wish I hadn't have done that. Or looking back, shouldn't have done that, should have done it this way.
Yeah.
And then you just learn from it and grow, and that's what it's all about.
That's the whole reason why we're on here, because we want you guys to learn from the mistakes that we've made in the past. Our ego is not going to be in too much in our ways that we want to look like that we're the perfect trainers and that we're the perfect people, because
everyone makes mistakes.
You don't learn without mistakes. No, and if you can take value out of what we're giving you now and apply it to your own practice and your own business, then you'll start a couple steps in front of where we actually started, which is only going to be beneficial for yourself. So we've talked about online training there, Matt. What about the importance of physical marketing? Have you ever done any physical marketing before?
So once upon a time when I was newly qualified, I ran a couple of classes.
Right.
So posters were really good for that.
Yeah, yeah.
So putting posters up in and around the area, so like supermarkets,
Yeah.
like local salons and things like that on the high street. That worked really well because
Yeah.
people can physically see it. Oh, might try that. So that was really good. Leaflets again, same thing. So leaflet drop-in, it's old school, but it actually works.
Yeah.
So leaflet drop-in, not so much houses, but again in businesses, put it on the counter, whether it's for the staff room,
Yeah.
whatever, it has worked in the past.
Uh-huh.
And then the last one, business cards. I still use them now, not very much. I have them floating around the gym, and then obviously I've got some in case I see someone off the cuff.
Yeah.
But they're all, they're not the be-all and end-all, but they're useful to have.
Mm-hmm.
It's a backup. It's a physical thing that people take away with them,
Yeah.
and that speaks volumes. So if you're speaking to someone in the gym, or I don't know, someone it comes across that you're a PT and they want more information, it looks really amateur if you're like, oh, I've got nothing to give you. Whereas if you go, there's a leaflet, there's a business card, it just looks a bit more professional.
Yeah, it's a bit more personal to
Yeah.
that person as well.
It's a physical thing they take away with them, and they won't forget it
Yeah.
because it'll be in the pocket or the bag or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what resonates there from what you've said is when you obviously first got qualified as a personal trainer, you had that drive to actually be like, right, I'm going to get out there. I'm going to put things in front of people.
Yeah.
So then I can then start to build up my portfolio
Yeah.
of clients.
It's that enthusiasm, and luckily a lot of our learners go away with that.
Yeah.
And they're like, right, I'm going to do this, and they go away and they do those things, and it helps them.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't want to leave here going, right, what do I do now? You want to kind of have that
Exactly.
motivation to build that business.
Yeah, exactly. So just like even going out, leaflet flyer dropping.
Yeah.
You might walk around your street midday and you might see loads of takeaways doing it and stuff. And you
Yeah.
might think, well, I don't want to do that because they're doing that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be down to their level. Well, guess what? They're actually doing more than what you're doing,
Yeah.
you lazy bastard.
Yeah.
Get up and start
Get off
flyer
your ass.
dropping. Start doing things to actually put your product in front of people and get them to know your name, because I bet that house that takeaway is putting that flyer through, they'll know the name of that takeaway, but they won't know the name of you as a personal trainer.
Yeah.
So even little things like that.
Yeah,
can help.
people think that things like that are not below them, but like, that wouldn't work for me, or I could do it better. Whereas if you go back to basics and strip stuff back for what it is,
Yeah.
old school marketing, leaflet drop-in. I used to work in a retail job 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Leaflet drop-in, and it worked really well. It's the same thing, like you say, takeaways do it. It works.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's like little local books now where you can put advertisements in that aren't very much that get dropped to like 5,000 houses.
Oh, it's on your doorstep.
Yeah, on your
that-
doorstep.
I've
Yeah,
heard of them,
and
yeah.
I know of a couple of ex-learners who have done that, and it's
Yeah.
worked really well. So little old school marketing, it really
Yeah.
works.
Because we do talk about, and you'll see a lot of things on social media about these fitness entrepreneurs trying to sell you the best keywords and
God.
Google and AdWords and things that you can put into your social media marketing campaigns to make you a 6-figure personal trainer. Well, one thing that you need to understand is there's a lot of the population that are not even on social media. That are not even on Facebook and Instagram, and a lot of kind of business people as well that are actually middle to high income earners just don't piss about with stuff
No,
like
they haven't
that.
got time to.
They haven't got time
No.
to be on social media and liking Jeremy Kyle show and all that type of stuff, videos on there,
Yeah.
because they're too busy with their own lives and getting on with what they want to do in life.
Yeah.
So how do you connect with those middle to high income earners that are actually on there?
Yeah. If social media is your only platform, then you're
Yeah.
limiting yourself again.
Exactly.
But it's like you see, there's so many of these on Facebook or on YouTube, and it's how to build how you said, how to build a 6-figure PT business online.
Yeah.
Or these online gurus that'll help you build a bigger business and stuff like that. And they all say the same thing in the intro to the video. I'm not like anybody else.
Yeah.
I'm not offering or selling what anyone else is. And you watch the video, and they're all trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like you say, it won't hit everybody. It doesn't reach social media. Not everyone does it like the old school. Like you say, it's not always a case where they're on a social media platform.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those where if you're doing both, then you're going to hit it the most effectively.
Yeah.
Essentially, that would be the best way to do it.
Yeah, two-pronged approach to
Yeah.
it. So try and get in as many different streams and different ways to connect with consumers and potential customers as you possibly can.
Absolutely.
And then again, I know it's then effectively managing your time efficiently. So we've talked about the marketing.
Yeah.
We've talked about the tax.
Yeah.
And then the whole reason why the people are in this actual job is to actually train.
Yes. Yeah.
So what piece of advice I would give to those to people that are qualified and they're taking in all of this information and they're thinking, gosh, how am I going to fit all this in? Create a timetable and a working schedule for yourself.
Manage your time.
Manage your time efficiently.
Yeah.
Right, I've got my calendar here. Monday, I'm going to do this. Tuesday, I'm going to do this. I'm going to leave X amount of time to train my clients. I'm going to leave X amount of time for program writing, X amount of time for my marketing, and X amount of time to then work out my finances.
Yeah.
And then that is what's going to cement the authority and the cement you as a business to then be able to continue and progress and reach whatever business financial goals that you may have.
Yeah, a good thing that I do that I struggled with in the past was having time to do those things. So admin, finances, program card writing.
Yeah.
So what I do now is I all my diaries are digital, so I don't have a paper diary anymore.
Yeah.
I use everything. I use Google Calendar.
Yeah.
So that works really well for me. But all I'll do is when I know that I need to do things such as taxes, such as program cards writing, any admin, anything like that, any marketing, I'll actually block it out in my diary.
Yeah.
So I'll block out an hour, treat it like a PT client, and that hour will be spent doing those things.
Exactly, and that's where you've got to attack it.
Yeah.
Because if you're concentrating too much on one part of the business and not on the others, it's going to come back and bite you on the arse at some point.
Yeah.
So if you're concentrating on just trying to like train clients, and then not market for new clients, then what happens when you start to have a drop off with the clients that you've got at the minute?
It's having that balance.
It's having that balance between it, definitely. So I think we've kind of covered a good amount of things there, Matt. Is there any other things that you want to touch on?
No, I think that's it really. I mean, for new guys starting out, which will hopefully, if we between the two of us, if we've said one thing that helps one person, then it's kind of worth it.
Exactly.
But if I think it's one of them where if you've got any questions about any of us have just said, just drop us a message.
Definitely.
Across any platform. Our email addresses will be out there, and obviously our socials as well. Any information, we're quite happy to help people.
Yes, definitely. Be sure to contact us. If you can't get us on any platforms, info@velocity-pt.co.uk, and one of us will pick up your email.
Yep.
Or you'll be able to find our company number on our website. Our website is www.velocity-pt.co.uk. And then, as well as being able to find our contact details on there, if you've got any interest in any further education, whether it be about the business skills, so we do have a business skills qualification available for anybody that is struggling with finances, with marketing and those types of things. We do have that available on there, very strong platform that we've got available on that. And also any further education if you are looking to go down any niche routes as well. Shout out to the new level 4 personal trainer qualification that we've got coming. So that's going to be one of the one and only in the UK that has its own e-learning platform to that can be completed from anywhere in the United Kingdom or worldwide.
Worldwide,
Mr. Worldwide.
We've got a few sign-ups for that already, which is quite exciting.
Yeah.
Kind of take it from there, and then hopefully build that up with the rest of our calls.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you.
Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment. Really helps out the channel. And we look forward to talking on the next one.
Yeah. See you in episode 5.
See you later, guys.